As you saw, that is very much with us, but also with us, as you have been having also, is Sister Mohini is an integral part of this retreat. And in addition to that, we have invited so many of our senior brothers and sisters from around the world. And as I said, each one of them instantly said yes. And this morning we have the fortune of starting with the retreat on a section on Nij Gyan, for our times, knowledge in its most original form and its application and the significance for the times that we are living through. And we thought, who else would be better to do that than Asha Didi, who we have thought of inviting to Peace Village lately many, many times, and would have very soon invited her, in terms of physical invitation. But this is even better that Asha Ben is able to be with us for this morning session on Nij Gyan for our times, in conversation with Brother Ken, whom we all hear from time to time, but Asha Didi is like a rarity for us. And so a very, very special welcome for Asha Ben. If I can give this to her. And facilitating the conversation, Asha Didi, here is a warm welcome to Peace Village for you. And facilitating the conversation between her and Ken Bai is Sister Wadi from Miami, who we are also very, very familiar with. And Sister Wadi, warm welcome to Peace Village.
Thank you, Calaban.
And I think we are about to have Brother Ken. I'm not sure if he's joined us yet, but if not, he will be joining us very soon. And this is his flower, okay? So I'm going to leave the three of them. And again, a very, very special welcome to Asha Didi. And Sister Wadi will carry this. Oh, Brother Ken is here. Yeah.
They just my mic,
So warm welcome, Brother Ken.
Lovely to be with you.
Okay, thank you. So here they are. Sister Wadi will now carry the session forward. Om Shanti, Wadi Ben.
Om Shanti. I had understood we were going to have a song at this point.
Yes, we will have a song.
Yeah. So let's do that first.
ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है आपकी शिक्षाएं बाबा हमको लगती प्यारी है लगती प्यारी है ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है खुशबू मन का सुख शांति से भरती है मीठी मुरली की करती है पावनता की खुशबू मन का सुख शांति से भरती है ज्ञान सूर्य की किरणों से हुई बगिया उजियारी है बगिया उजियारी है ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन है ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन वाली है
Om Shanti. You're waiting for a camera, perhaps. Om Shanti. Welcome to all of the brothers and sisters, but a particularly warm welcome to our two speakers, and an extra special welcome to Asha Ben. Her fame, of course, has preceded her, even though she has not really been to the US so much, and many have not had the pleasure of hearing her classes. I could give you a list, like I could for Ken, of their accomplishments, both before Gyan and since Gyan. And in fact, they're parallel in some ways. But what's very important to me is the fact that, very, very important, and I'm hoping that she will share something of that experience and give us an experience of her being with Mama and Baba, because she was a child of about 9 years of age when she encountered Gyan, and that was in the late 50s, and so until 1969, about 11 years, she knew Brahma Baba. And then despite her achievements academically, she chose to dedicate her life. And very simply, Asha Ben, I've known her all these years. And so rather than, as I say, the accomplishments, it's who she is and what she's known for. And that is her power, her humility, her love, her kindness, and her ability to have this wonderful balance while she runs this huge organization of ORC, the balance of love and law. She is so respected and given so much regard, but there is absolutely nothing showy about Asha Ben. You will just discover all of these things as you come to know her. And she also holds a very unique position. She's part of the RC group, like Brother Ken, but she's the only one from India. And so she has a special role of informing the RCs from around the world of what is happening in India, and then taking what is part of the RC meetings back to those in India. And one other very special thing is that I would first have met Asha in early 1977, probably at Pandav Bhavan. And so not only Mama and Baba, but she was nurtured and looked after and lived together with Daddy Allrounder and Daddy Gulzar, and of course tutored service-wise by Brother Bridge Mohan. So you can guess at the wealth of power, of love. She's just so very substantial. So I think rather than give you another long introduction to Brother Ken, we will ask Asha Ben first to please weigh in on this topic of Nij Gyan and its practical application at the present time. I think Mohini Ban put it very succinctly this morning when she defined it as the original knowledge of the creator and creation, that the whole cycle can be included, and that we become Sham from Sundar and Sundar from Sham, and that the Nij Gyan is whatever Shiv Baba gave to Rama Baba. That's the original knowledge. So Asha, Didi, 100,000 welcomes. And we're so looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Vaudivan. Om Shanti. What a lovely opportunity to meet all our brothers and sisters from different parts of the world online. Physically, no, but virtually. And I would like to thank Sister Kala for extending such a beautiful, loving, warm welcome, which I think now all these things have become the things of the past. All of us are always welcome anytime. And still, when I saw Brother Ken joining us, and when I saw the clippings from Dadi Janki's visit, I was deeply touched, and I felt this was the expression of Nij Gyan, where a senior Dadi meeting brothers and sisters with true spiritual love and everyone enjoying it like a family. And ultimately, what all of us are doing is, and what Baba has pointed out, one Baba and the rest of you are brothers and sisters. It is one family. It was very touching expression when all the brothers and sisters sitting around her and Dadi talking in a most natural, purest, and most innocent form. And I believe through the Gyan given by Baba, this is our original self. Totally pure, innocent, and loving. When Baba descended, the first word that he spoke was Nij. Nijanand Swarupam. Shivoham, Shivoham. Gyan Swarupam, Shivoham, Shivoham. Prakash Swarupam, Shivoham, Shivoham. Knowledge, light, and bliss. This is me. And I feel we started from there and we are going to end our journey with these three things deeply seated in our souls. There will be wisdom, there will be bliss, and light. Light, Bindu. I recall, and it is just a coincidence nowadays at ORC, we are reading some Murlis and discussing them. One of the Murlis that I read today after talking to Sister Wadi, there was no plan, nothing. Just I picked up, and the Murli was on 20th March 1987. 20th March 1987 is just pure coincidence. Baba is talking about Paramatam Gyan. Baba is speaking to the double foreigners over there, and he says in that Murli, how long are you going to create the grounds? Now the ground is ready. Baba spoke about 3 steps, and he said, it is true that right in the solid form, the seed form, you cannot pass on this Gyan, but you have to take, adjust the dosage, how in what form you have to give, all these things, you have to take care. But you must not forget giving them Paramatam Gyan, and I feel it is Nij Gyan. Baba went to the extent of saying, when people come to Mount Abu, and I think it was the time when we used to have Universal Peace Conferences in Om Shanti Bhavan, a lot of VIPs used to come. So Baba said, how long will you keep on doing this? First step is bringing them closer, sampark, connection. And the second step is building relationships with them. Relationship. And third thing he said, surrender. Surrender, which means, which I felt Baba wanted to say realization. They should visit Mount Abu, they should come to Abu and listen to Paramatam Gyan, Nij Gyan. If they do not get this Gyan, even in Abu, where else will they get it? So Baba was preparing the double foreigners at that time to speak about Paramatam Gyan or Nij Gyan. I feel when talking about Dadi Janki, the 3 times Om Shanti that she used to say, it was nothing but Nij Gyan. I am soul, first Om Shanti. Main kaun, who am I? Second Om Shanti, mera kaun, who is mine? And third one, what am I to do? 3 things. And it is these 3 things that make the essence of the whole Gyan that Baba has given us. I also recall Dadi Gulzar. She used to tell us that Baba, he made all the inmates of Yajna at that time to practice soul consciousness. I'm a soul, I'm a soul, I'm a soul. I'm so and so's Jasota is soul, Mitto is soul, so and so is soul. That said, this had become so natural that they forgot that they were females or males. This consciousness was also not there. Such deep practice of soul consciousness was there. Soul. Gyan was not very clear. Gyan was not that say, full understanding. But these sisters, dadis, they were made to practice soul consciousness. And Gulzar Dadi said to us, again and again, She has been emphasizing. Now, of course, she's not able to, but when she was in her full consciousness, she used to emphasize that the practice that dadis have done in the yajna of soul consciousness, you people do not do. You do not have that practice of soul consciousness. Why? Because it is this stage, this Gyan that I am a soul, and this Gyan of soul consciousness will enable me to leave this mortal coil in an easy way. And Baba has cautioned us about it, that if children, you do not have this practice of soul consciousness coming in the body, going out of the body, coming in the body, going out of the 1 second you are here, another second you are out. If you do not have this, then towards the end, I'm talking about Bhagwanavach, I'm talking about the words of Baba from Avik Bhabdada's Murli. Baba has clearly said, even if you keep on saying in the end, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, you will not be able to have that experience at all. You will not be able to get out of the body when you want it. So, this Nich Gyan, the first point, the first lesson of our life, that I am a soul and soul consciousness, is one thing. And this has to be understood, this has to be realized, and we feel that nowadays people are prepared to take this. People are prepared. Second thing is about Baba, Paramatma. And Paramatma, who is my father, my teacher, in all my relationships, have the experience that he is the supreme authority, supreme being. And the supreme being is my father. When we connect ourselves, relate ourselves with this consciousness, he is my father. Then my father is not an ordinary being. My father is the ocean of all virtues. My father is almighty authority. My father is the authority, the creator. Simply this much. And remembering Baba with love, this is the speciality of our Gyan. That we are not simply praying God, we are not simply singing praises of God, but we practically relate ourselves with Him. That He is my father, mother, teacher, guru, companion, everyone, everything, everything, everything. And Baba says this has to be marked with two things. One, what he says, love. And second, he says, relationship. And this relationship has to be love form. So about the Father, the Creator, Baba has said several times that very few children understand me. And this has been said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita also. Out of millions, only a handful ones understand me. Why does he say so? It is not that we do not know his form, it is not that we do not know his name, it is not that we do not know what he does, but having a faith in him, total faith in him. This is important. And when we have faith in Baba, and you will be surprised if I say, our faith in Baba should be like that of blind faith. Whatever he says, once I have recognized, once I have realized, I don't have to keep asking me again and again, is he my father? I don't have to test him again and again. Is he my father? Is he my mother? No. Once I have understood means understood. And another thing about Nij Gyan is drama. And in drama, what we call Swadarshan, what we were, the knowledge about the time, what we were, what we have become, and what we have to become. Baba has made us Trikaldarshi. And this Gyan, that yesterday we were deities, today we have become like human beings, Brahmins now, and now is the time for us to become deities again. Because we are passing through that phase of the cycle where we have to return home. This is the only time when we have to return home. When I have to return home, how have I to return? In my original form. Original form, karmati, pure, loveful, full of all those basic qualities. And then this gives me faith also, understanding of time cycle. It gives me faith that this is the time when we are to ascend. This is the ascension order. We are not descending anymore. From Satyug onwards, we have been descending. But now is the time when we are ascending, when we are on the ascension order. And in every respect, this drama is beneficial or this drama is the benefactor. In every respect, every single step I take, it is towards ascension. It's not coming down. This gives us a lot of faith in the self, lot of hope, and lot of strength that every single second of ours is now moving towards ascension. So, in other words, if I say Nij Gyan can be essentially said in three dots, what Baba says, Bindu. Atma Bindu, God is also Bindu, and drama is also Bindu. That is it. And this is why he tells us daily apply this tilak. Daily apply this tilak. I'm a soul, child of Supreme, and I have to play my role. Drama Bindu, full stop. This is not the time to keep analyzing the things, to keep talking about the things. No, anything, put a stop and move ahead. I remember that Janki, she used to say, person who stops is telling us that he has nothing else to do. Those people who have aim, they will never stop anywhere. They will keep moving, moving, and moving. And this reminds me of one of the conversations that Baba had with one of the brothers in the Avyakt form. Baba was there in Om Shanti Bhavan. This brother was sitting in front of him. So Baba just asked him, how are you? He said, Baba, very nice. Baba said, what did you say? I'm moving ahead nicely. Baba said, what did you say? Oh, I'm okay. I'm doing well. I'm moving nicely. Baba said, you are incurring a lot of loss. And this brother was taken aback. Baba, I'm okay. In every respect, I'm okay. Baba said, this is the time to keep flying, and you are saying that you are just walking, that you are moving ahead. This time to fly. Flying means you are of and completing your journey faster, faster, faster. And if you just keep moving, means you are incurring a lot of loss. This is how Baba has been seeing us, that children, once you understand that this is Sangam Yug, the confluence, and it is we children who have to bring the time closer. We are the needles of this world clock. If this thing is um, embedded in our minds, then we will not be going here and there and be able to complete a journey joyfully. So I feel the three things: the soul, the supreme soul, and the knowledge of drama that Baba has given us. And these three things are basic: Nij Gyan, Gyan that Shiv Baba spoke through Brahma Baba, which is with us in the form of Murlis, which is with us in the form of Bhagwan Umach. It is that Nij Gyan which Baba wants us to tell the people of the world also, the rest of the world also. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Ashaban. Yes, definitely. Daddy Janki was the embodiment of it. I didn't know that the first word spoken by Baba when he came was Nij. And the question, and maybe you can speak to it later on, when you said about how Baba had everyone practice soul consciousness, and I think it was Daddy Gulzar had said that we don't do it to the same extent. I wonder if we're still being carried, if you like, by the experiences which they had, and that we still have to do it for ourselves. And just appreciating also, because it was a question for me, is it about blind faith? And I really appreciate just the authority of Gyan and of your experience, which is being conveyed even though you're not physically present. So let me move over to Brother Ken now. Ken, looking for Ken. Where are you? Can we get Ken on the spotlight?
I'm here, but yeah.
You're there. There you are. Om Shanti Ken. Bye. And Brother Ken is actually, he was telling me this morning that he was in a retreat, handling the retreat, I guess, at Serra Negra this morning, and there was 300 and something people. So I just want you to know that of this moment, we have 653 people here. So you will have shared with about 1,000, at least 1,000 people before the day's out. Ken, unlike Ashaban, who is far distant, but Ken's practically our neighbor. He's just a little bit south of here. And we have him visit very, very often. And so you're all conversant with the various roles that he plays. But I just want to say, and I've told him this before, I see Ken as the true Renaissance man, in that he has all these talents. And there's a line in a song, and I think it's very, very fitting for my description of Ken, and that is, he's a poet, he's a picker, meaning he plays the guitar, he's a pilgrim and a preacher, and he's a writer. And all of this springs from some deep, creative, internal source. And I have to say, my first, and I don't know if I ever shared this with Ken, but my first impression of him, this was in December 1976 in Bombay. I can't say I met him. He wouldn't even have been aware of me, but I saw him, and I wasn't yet a Brahmin. And so he just struck me as someone who was really aloof and really detached. But now I see it for what it really is. And that is that his essential nature is one of genuine introversion, which allows for all of those talents and creativity and is the introversion that speaks to his rich inner life. And so, dear Ken, looking forward to hearing what you have to say on Nij Gyan in the present time. Welcome.
Thanks, Wadi. Really lovely to see you all. I don't know if Sister Winnie's online, but greetings to Sister Winnie, greetings to Sister Asha also. Of course, with Sister Asha Didi, I'm very close because we go every year, at least twice, in my case, to ORC. So we are very close in a sense. And I'm always inspired by her balance, to tell the truth. Way that everything moves so smoothly there. Of course, Peace Village and Sister Moini as well, and Sister Carla, thanks so much for the invitation and the opportunity to be with you. And I was thinking about this theme also. I remember I talked to Daddy once. I was just before I was doing this book called New Beginnings. And I asked Daddy, okay, I'm going to write a book on Gyan, Daddy. What is the essence of Gyan? And she said, soul, God, Rama, Karma. Like that, just 4 things. And like Didi Asha was saying, the other day, I was writing a meditation commentary. And of course, after each phrase, when you want to indicate a pause, right, in a written meditation commentary, you put 3 dots, like it, they call it an ellipsis in punctuation language. So the 3 dots. So that I was writing a phrase, and then the 3 dots, and then another phrase, and then 3 dots. It meant it's sort of a pregnant pause, a pause that is full of some meaning that we expect people to go into an experience to take a few moments before they go on to the next phrase. And I was there struck by the 3 dots, And this is not an ellipsis. I was thinking to myself, this is actually where the meditation really happens. It's not the words, it's the meaning. And then I started to play around with this idea because this is, as she said, this is the essence, the 3 dots. The soul and God. And then I thought, well, what's in between the soul and God is the drama. And sometimes that dot becomes too big so that I'm on one side, God's on the other side, and the drama is too big for me to handle, to comprehend, or to deal with. And my vision just sort of can't go further than the drama itself. So I can't see God beyond the drama. He's on the other side of it, in a sense, because I'm worried about a detail here and worried, thinking about a situation there. And so I have to necessarily, if I want to make the connection between the soul and God, I have to reduce the drama to the same size. And as Baba says, a full stop. And, that for me is also the essence of this Nij Gyan, the basic things that we share in the introductory course. I think things like the 8 powers and the 16 celestial arts, they're later on, much later on. But the lesson of the soul is the first lesson, the second lesson, the third, the fifth, the 100th lesson in our life, and also the last one. And I can't go any further than the soul. That means I can't understand the drama, and I can't understand God on the other side of it if I am not able to feel my true identity. And that's the real anchor, I feel. And we're having a great chance to, at this time, with everything going on, there are several things that are happening which would, you could say it's just this, an interplay of soul, God, drama, karma, in a way. That's what's exactly going on. So this basic Gyan can help us to deal with whatever's going on. So I think too much about a situation, I forget that it's a drama. And then I forget myself, I forget God, and I'm sort of stuck somewhere. But the situation that most of us are going through, if you've been accompanying the news, Brazil has moved second place after the US in terms of deaths and cases of the coronavirus. So it's not a really good ranking to be proud of, be second in the world in these sorts of stakes. So in a way, we are definitely locked down here. I mean, everywhere. We can't move. And there are deaths all around. Because we don't have the same sort of structure that the US has, there are many more deaths that are not accounted for. We've got a brother who is he works with the city council, the health department in Sao Paulo, which is the worst place in Brazil, like New York. And he's responsible for the eastern zone of the city, which are millions of people. And he's saying that the reality, we could say that the number of deaths and cases is actually 15 times more than are being reported. So it's pretty grim. And we understand, okay, how can I use this original Gyan to sort of deal with it, to conceive it even, with all of these scenes of death and disasters that are happening all around us. Like Baba said, Baba says in the Molis, we are surrounded by this tamaguni atmosphere, and we have to prepare ourselves for a beautiful death. That's the language that Baba has used in a Moli that's coming up on the 31st. But if I don't get it right, I will have fear. I will have fear. So how can I use this basic Gyan to not be afraid? And as Asha Didi said, it's not such a question of bandying words around, just mouthing the word soul, 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 baba, 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 drama, drama, drama. We can say that until our tongue drops off. But it doesn't advance us one step unless I understand the significance of it and I'm able to apply that in a practical way. And we have been thrust against ourselves in a sense because we don't have the excuse of too much work to do. Especially outside of our places, if we're at home. Most of BKs live in their Lokic homes. Some of us live in Brahmin communities, like here in our retreat centre near Sao Paulo, that we are nine, a small little group of Brahmins. But most people are with their families or with the people that are closest to them karmically. You think about it. We've been thrust into a little space where we have to deal with ourselves, and we have to deal with the ones who are probably our closest karmic connections. And we don't have the excuse anymore not to deal with those two things. So there's probably a lot of stuff I have to work out and I have to understand. And the experience of the soul, as we know, is absolutely essential to go beyond things. Therefore, to be able to, if I can go beyond, I can also reduce the drama to that full stop. And if I can't go beyond, I can't do that, and I can't get to God either. So I need to be free from, the shackles of this physical dimension and move to that bodiless state in which I can have the two experiences of the bodiless state, the one in the avyakta state in the subtle regions, and the one as an incorporeal soul in the soul. So for me, together with these 3 points, I also have to, it's like the other day I was feeling that there's sort of like a gyroscope. I don't know if you know what that is. There's a sort of a mechanism that keeps a helicopter, for example, because you've got the thing is going, the blades are above it, but the thing is going forward at the same time. So a gyroscope can help us to move vertically and also move horizontally whenever we need to, and it's just adjusts. So I was thinking, I was really enjoying the experience actually, which is the essence of what Baba says. That there are three worlds and there's a cycle. So the Trilokanath experience is like the vertical one. I need to master it. I need to be able to be here and go beyond here when I need to and come back here when I need to. I need to go not just in sort of halfway house, which is the subtle regions. I need to go to the soul world, the top floor, as Baba says. So I need to go between the three worlds and master this experience, coming from there, coming down. When I'm here in the physical world, but I'm just enjoying the drama and just beyond it, I'm subtle. That is my subtle form. I don't have to see a ghost of myself. My subtle form is a state of consciousness more than anything. Some people can see it, but I can't. I can feel it. So if I'm here, that I'm not here, like Baba says, here but don't listen, don't pay attention, go through one, see but don't see, that sort of thing, that sort of experience. If I can master that, then that thing is working. The Trilokanath is working, which is for me the essence of the Gyan that Baba says, like, you are souls, and this is a soul world, and this is what happens. And then at this level, the drama is playing out horizontally. The cycle I see as a horizontal thing going around and around. So you've got the up and down and the round bit that a gyroscope would have. But what does it mean in practice? Not just repeating past, present, and future to myself, or even going through the 5 stages of the drill, I am a soul, and I'm equidistant from all of those things. So whatever births I've had, even this body, I'm as different from this body as I am from all of my other bodies that I don't know about. But I'm the soul of this life and so many others. And I need to master this Vikaldashi bit. So Trilokanath, Vikaldashi. There is the movement between the past, the present, and the future. But it's also, and again, the beginning, middle, and end, they're the two aspects of Trikaldashi. But in practice at this time, I need to master the Trilokanath state, become master Trilokanath, to be able to not be touched by the things that this world is presenting, for example. I remember Daddy Jenny, since she's so much in our hearts and our memories lately. When she was here, she was doing a talk on conquering fear, because, as you know, there's a lot of violence in Latin American cities. 41 of the most violent cities in the world, unfortunately, are in Latin America, and 14 of them are in Brazil. So pretty violent places. People just shoot each other. And so she was giving a talk on overcoming fear. And the reporter asked her, Daddy, what will you do if a thief attacks you? What would you do? She just looked at the reporter and just said, that will never happen to me, with so much conviction. She doesn't live in the world where she can be reached by a thief, right? So I can use this master Trilokanath to be in a dimension that is not reached by all of this stuff that's going on here at the moment. and the panic and the fear and the anxiety. Even, you know, the virus itself is just like 10,000 times smaller than a grain of salt. That's how small it is. It's a bit of, you know, genetic material that's been expelled somehow, and it's just floating around like a seed looking for some soil to sort of grow in, basically. But I'm a soul even small. I'm even smaller than this tiny little virus. So if I'm in soul consciousness, it really can help me to not be reached by this thief of our health called the coronavirus. So I really feel that that state is a state in which we can really feel access to the protection of Baba, because why would I go beyond here? It's to meet Baba, to have the heart-to-heart conversation with Baba in the subtle regions, and to experience the incorporeal state. If I'm doing that, I have a greater sense of protection no matter what is happening. I'm a soul, and even if everything around me leaves me, including my body, I still am a soul, and Baba's there. So I have the feeling that at the end I won't leave the body's going to leave me. And the Trikaudashi bit is, you know, I can understand the context of what's going on. Baba's given us so much advice about the drama would become like this. And not just that, drama is nothing new. I'm going to become what I was, like hum so hum. The other thing is that everything repeats. That's a really deep thing. You know, if I really understand drama, I understand that everything repeats, nothing new. So these are the sorts of things I'm playing with, you know, trying to make sense of the world that's going on around us. Okay, is that okay? We can sort of open it a little bit up now.
Thank you so much, Ken. That's lovely. I really like that idea of the 3 dots, and then having to minimize the drama to some extent that comes in between. And then that image of Daddy, that experience, something Rajnivan said this morning in her sharing of the Murli experience was that purity is security. So I thought that was very nice. Now, I don't want to go back at one level, and I would have many questions because I'd like to take it almost, from a certain point in time to where we are now. But let me just see what happens. I'm remembering that when I first went to Madhaban at that time, and I wasn't fully a Brahmin yet, and Daddy G asked the question of the double foreigners, you know, what was the point of knowledge that really got you? And I wonder if either of you remember. Asha, of course, was a child, but the point of knowledge that maybe you intuitively knew, but you never heard it and you never read it anywhere. I'm curious, was there such a thing for you, Ken?
Yeah. And funnily enough, the very first contact I had with the Brahma Kumaris was in Tennyson Road in London. And there was a poster on the door as you go in, just as you go through the door, on the left, there was a poster saying, "You have been here 5,000 years ago." And at that very instant, I had that sense of deja vu, you know, that, yes, I have been here before. This place is familiar. This vibration is familiar. And so I didn't think it was a strange thing. No. Or maybe the 5,000 years bit was a bit strange. But the fact that this is repeating, and I had the experience as the very first contact before I even spoke to anyone, I saw something. You have been here 5,000. Wow. That sort of blew my head off. You know?
Yeah. I wonder if for you, Ashuban, of course, coming from a different religion and culture and everything, if you had any such experience, something that you heard and you just intuitively knew. It's not even a question of having blind faith in Baba at that point, but that you intuitively knew without any explanation that this was absolutely right.
Somehow I've had little such experiences where I found that everything was exactly the same scene I have seen before. Same thing has happened before, which had never happened in this kalpa. So maybe it happened last kalpa, and that soul was experiencing it at that time. And yeah, and this meeting Baba also, Brahma Baba, when I met him for the first time, that also gave me the feeling that I was not meeting him for the first time, but I have met him before.
Amazing. Do you want to share a little bit of that meeting with us? We would like to be there.
I will share my first meeting with Mama and Baba. Okay.
Okay.
We were in Kanpur when Mama had come, and my mother was a good cook, so she used to be in the center for Mama, and she used to lock us up at home. With her aunt, because her aunt also used to go for Murli. So she would just lock us up and go to the center, my father, my mother, and that aunt. So Mama saw my mother and said to Dadi Gange, Dadi Gange, she was the zonal in charge of UP, Uttar Pradesh, and the first two sisters who were sent by Baba to start service in Delhi. Dadi Gange was the in charge in Kanpur. So Mama asked Dadi, doesn't Nirmala has any children? She's seen here the whole day. Then Gange Dadi said, Mama, she has 5 children. Yeah. And Mama said, then what does she do with them? Gange Dadi says she locks them up and comes. Mama said she locks them up and comes. I want to see such children. Then Mama invited us for lunch the next day. And we had lunch with Mama. I was the eldest. And I can never forget the love. Probably my mother also did not give me that much love. With her own hands, Mama fed us. I was sitting by her side, my another sister on the other side, my brother on the next one, and Mama was feeding us one by one. That was very touching, and that probably as small children, we did not understand Gyan so much, but it was this love, that deep love that we received has kept us alive up to this day. And when I met Baba for the first time, it so happened that on the way, our teachers used to say to us, look, you are going to meet Baba, and Baba is going to ask you these questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have you met him before? Do you have children? All those. So we were meeting Baba. We had gone from Kanpur. The whole group was there. Not many, a few. So everyone was meeting, and when it was my turn, then Baba asked me the question, child, have you met Baba before? Baba's personality was so wonderful that I forgot everything, and I said, no, Baba, I'm meeting you for the first time. So Baba smiled, and then I saw my teacher sitting over there, and it reminded me. I said, no, Baba, I met you 5,000 years back. And Baba took me in his lap, patted my back, back and said, the child has learned the lesson well. This was first meeting with Mama.
Wow, beautiful.
So this thing of 5,000 years, that it has happened before, nothing new, this will pass on, these things we keep in our mind.
Okay. We've been talking so far essentially to and about Brahmins, but now in terms of sharing this with other people, because you have this sort of paradox that you can't have the relationship with Baba without the Gyan, and you can't be in the full experience of Nij Gyan without the relationship with Baba. Both are necessary. And so what is your thought at the present time? And particularly I'm interested in you speaking about India, Ashaben, and Ken speaking about in general terms, about the West. What is it that we need to be giving people at this time? And have we been unfaithful in what it is that we've maybe not given them previously? And thrown into that mixture where we see now this attraction towards personalities in the Brahmin family who may not be giving what we would call Nij Gyan, but those that would give Nij Gyan are not found to be so attractive.
Sister Modi, I feel that times are changing now. And what I have found is nowadays people want to know the truth. And here at ORC, I'm seeing the sisters. Earlier, they used to talk about all those beautiful, flowery things, values, and this and this. But now they also feel that we have to give them the knowledge about the soul, the supreme soul, and meditation, how to remember Him. And people have started accepting it. Straight away in the second or on the very first or the second lesson, they start giving all these things. Of late, I feel people need to have strength to face all these situations. People need to have peace of mind. People are so confused, landing into depression. Many things are happening. But when they understand, when they get this Gyan, and we tell them, continue with it, with meditation, slowly, the difference is being seen. Now, you are right. There was a time when our dadis, they used to give us Nij Gyan only. They never gave us anything else. And the Varis quality souls were born.
Okay.
Yeah. From Nij Gyan, this is my firm conviction. It's from Nij Gyan that Varis quality souls are born. Yes.
Means air quality souls, right? Ashabel,
Yeah.
for those of us who don't understand. Yeah.
Right. Air quality souls. And it is not that now they are not born, they are. But there's a lot of difference in the strength and the power, I feel. So naturally, as the tree grows older, so you get weaker twigs. But Baba has also blessed those souls who are coming to the end. In the end, Baba said, last so fast so first. This blessing is also there. And there are such souls also who are making their fortune. But I feel ultimately, whatever they listen, they just keep connected. Those who are not getting Nij Gyan, they just keep themselves connected. But air quality souls will continue with understanding Nij Gyan, and the rest, they will just fall out or they just remain connected. We only want meditation, we only want this thing, so they remain up to that. So, and about personality, as you said, yes, true, there was a phase. Dadi's time, nothing. And no one was impressed by any personality. But there came a phase when this thing happened. And now I think the circle is complete. Now again, people's attention is being drawn towards Baba and the niche Gyan.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ashaban. Ken, what are you finding?
I think, as you know, or maybe, yes, you do know because we talked about it. Because we wanted to adjust the basic introductory course, and even Ashaben knows about this as well, my feeling was that we should construct the course around experiences rather than around concepts. And so for each of the 7 lessons, we identified 3 experiences that should be the focus of the sharing. And of course, on one side, this is what people want. They don't want words. And on the other side, it forces our teachers to have those experiences so in order to share them. Otherwise, you're just going to be giving them words. So I don't know, it's not really about bandying words. And of course, some people are very good at it, and that's probably where the personality effect comes in. You know, some of our teachers are very good orators, but Baba in the Morley, he says, they're great speakers, but, you know, what about the yoga? And in fact, lately he's asked that question several times in the Morley. But there's one thing that I keep in mind all the time. Every single soul is a soul. They know it, even if they don't articulate it. They intuitively somehow or the other know that that's there. And so my drishti, my vision, my feelings, my bhavana can reach that soul even before my words do. That's something that I work on. And secondly, every single soul has had an experience in the soul world. And therefore something, some closeness to God. So I really feel that if we work on that experience, then we can open up for deeper experiences. Because as Baba says, if they don't understand that they are souls, they won't understand anything about God. And understand here means not just to intellectually accept it, but to really take it on board as part of one's life. That's more difficult. But it's very different. You can't really generalize about the West, because in Latin America, if you don't speak about God, they'll ask it. But if you do that in Europe, they'll wonder why you are talking about God. But in any case, the first, let's say the first bridge that we have to cross is through our feeling and our bhavana and our drishti and our own understanding of the experience of the soul and of the soul world. And that individual in front of me is a soul, doesn't know exactly what that means, but at a deeper level, everyone maybe suspects that they are souls, but that soul has had a similar experience of the soul world, of deep stillness, and you know, that's why there's so much people trying to go beyond here and trying, when they pray and so on, they're trying to actually all religious activity is a reflection of nostalgia. The soul wanting to go back to the original state and to be in communion with God. So I believe that really totally, and that's what moves me. And so I have to adjust my language, but I don't have to adjust my feeling.
Beautiful. It's interesting because I asked someone yesterday who's a Hindi speaker, and I don't know if we lose anything by not speaking Baba's original language, but they told me that one of the meanings of Nij is intrinsic, innate. And so that's in a kind of a way what you're saying, that it belongs to each and every single soul. I'll just ask one more question if I can formulate it properly. And then we're going to go to the participants if they have something they would like to ask you. You hear Baba many times in the Murli speak about what, like when he speaks about, say, the size of the soul, or it contains 84 lifetimes, he talks about it with amazement and with intoxication. And the other thing that Baba is amazed by, not only by these points of knowledge, which are amazing, but what he's amazed by is that the children don't have happiness. And so that would be my final question then. And in these times, and they're very particular, and hopefully many are feeling the rise of that happiness in themselves if they didn't before, or that it's more consistent, that we're near the end of the journey. But what advice can you give so that people can be in that state of happiness, and that Baba will no longer have to be surprised that we aren't in that state of happiness? So whoever wants to go first.
Shall I? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, when you are saying this, Wadi, I remember once Brother Amit Chand was telling us, Avekt Bab Dada had come in Madhuban, and all the seniors were sitting in front of him, and all other brothers and sisters also in the audience. Baba was giving drishti, and then he was about to go, but then he came back and said, children, keep smiling as you are doing it now. Keep smiling. And every father wants his children to be happy. And Dadi Gulzar used to tell us from Brahma Baba's days, if any child was unhappy due to something, Baba would call that child, ask the child, and make her laugh, smile, and then send her away. This is the true sustenance, love, that was expressed by the Father. So when it comes to us, I feel if we are talking of Brahmins, I feel that if we are really Gyani souls, churning Gyan and enjoying and applying Gyan, we can keep ourselves happy. So my suggestion would be, try to understand Gyan and apply it. Make use of it. It will keep you happy in every circumstance.
Okay, Ken Bhai?
The feeling that I had recently, I organized Tapasya Week, and then in Spanish for the Latin countries, and then we did the same thing, repeated exactly the same thing for 1 week in Portuguese, and then the African teachers wanted the program as well, so I again did the whole program in English. I think it's recorded somewhere. Wow. But imagine just I was in such a space that and doing these 4 hours of tapasya every day, like burning anything, and really the soul becomes very free. So when I associate, there are a couple of things. Towards the last session was about the connection between tapasya and perfection. Of course, one is necessary for the other. But then I remembered there are actually 3 aspects of perfection. One is the karmatit state, The other one is the Bapsaman state. And the other one is like becoming like Lakshmi Narayana, deity. So I was asking myself, which of those three things are more appealing to me? Because if I have one, I'll probably have the other two, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I become like Lakshmi Narayana, it means I will become Karmatit and also Bapsaman. If I become Bapsaman, I'll also become Karmatit and like Lakshmi Narayana. Like that. So the one that appeals to me most is the deity state. The other two seem a little bit abstract, but I'm just talking from my own point of view. And for all of us, let's face it, there's a gap between what we can be and what we are able to be through our present efforts. And it's that gap that creates the unhappiness, the despair even. If it's big, if the gap's very big, a lot of despair. If it's close, it's like I can see the tops of the trees of paradise, as Baba uses that expression. And so I love to just work on this thing of dancing with my future form. It makes me extremely happy, extremely happy. I am that soul. I am that deity. It's not that I will be, I am it. So let me be perfect for 5 minutes, and take on those characteristics. I always say that, it does not attract me at all, the trappings of the golden angel, all those clothes and jewels and stuff and palaces. That's not my cup of tea. But what attracts me is the purity and the innocence and the beauty and the naturalness. What's it like to be a deity for, let me be a deity for an hour. If I were a deity, how would I be walking? How would I be sitting? How would I be moving around? How would I be seeing the things? How would I be interacting with people? And it's an absolutely blissful experience. And I think we have to take our happiness to the blissful state, which is like beyond the senses. Happiness is something from the inside out. It's not from the outside in. Nothing around me, nothing and no one that you can see and touch and hear and feel, nothing and no one is the source of happiness for us. So forget it. And again, if I'm carrying a lot of, let's say I'm carrying other people's weaknesses, other people's rubbish in me, that's it sort of negates any attempt to become happy anyway. So my happiness is reaching out to Baba on one side and reaching out to the future on the other. And that's and bliss. That's what is bliss for me.
That's interesting, Ken, because of the three things I would never have thought that you would have answered Lakshmi Narayan. And I'm going to take this as an opportunity just to give a little plug for a program that's coming down the pike internationally, and it is so exquisite. And it is called, I think, Exquisite Experiences of My Future Life or whatever. It is so beautiful, and it has been signed off on by the RCs, and it should be arriving very, very soon. But it is along the lines of what you're talking about, and encouraging us, rather than being in the present and wrestling, but to go to that future form and, bring the two things closer together. Thanks, Kim. So we're running some moments late for the questions, but I'm going to hand off now to Devbhai, and he's going to share whatever questions may have come up. Are you there, Dev?
Yes, Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank you, Asha Didi, Kenbai, and Wadiben. There has been a lot of good feedback here from everyone. They're all enjoying the session. There are a few questions. Some are related to the topic, so I would like to ask those first. And if there is time, we can ask other questions. So the first question is, where does Nij fit in the Trinity and three divine acts?
Oh. Okay, who would like to take that one?
Nij, Baba, Ken Bhai, you will talk later. And would you like to talk first?
You can answer this. No, you can go first. I'll answer the next one.
Okay.
Baba has spoken about how he creates the new world. And when Brahma Baba was there, he got the first vision of Jyoti Bindu and then Vishnu, that we have to be like, he has to be like Vishnu. So in the Trinity, how Shiv Baba does his work through Brahma, creation, through Vishnu, sustenance, and through Shankar, destruction of the old. And Nij Gyan means this, that we have got to be creating good sanskars in the self, destroying our old ones, vicious sanskars, and sustaining the new ones that we have learned from Gyan. Anything else?
No, I guess. It's pretty self-evident, isn't it? All right, Dev, you have another question?
Ken Bhai, you can talk on this little more.
Yes, the next question is, if you Ken Bhai, do you want to respond to that one? First one again? You're muted, Ken Bhai. You're on mute.
Give him a second one, then he can choose.
Sister Wadi, I would like to add.
Yes. Go ahead,
Baba
Ashiban.
Karan Karavan Har. And Baba has said to us that you should be doubly Karan Karavan Har. How? One, that you are soul and getting a master of the senses. This is one. Getting playing your role through the senses, and you are Karan Karavan Har. You are the master and getting it done. Similarly, Baba has said that keep in mind that Baba is also getting it done through us. Baba is Karavan Har and we are Karan Har. So this double Karan Karavan Har consciousness, it gives us strength. That I'm doing it, I'm the master, and then it is Baba who is getting it done through me.
Okay.
Okay, so next question, if it's okay.
Yes.
Is this the time to apply Nij Gyan in the current times, to pay more attention or to have more intoxication? How to sustain intoxication? Is there still time to accumulate all treasures of all virtues? Because now the effort is more different. It's on the self more than relationships with others, because everybody is physically isolated.
Is that your question, Dev?
Not my question.
Okay, it was a very long question.
Should I repeat the question?
No, I think Ken's probably got it.
Okay, thank you.
It's a time, who knows about time? Ever since I came into Gyan, the destruction was going to happen next week, right? So it's always been looming on the horizon, the close horizon. But I think there are two things. I have to go about my practical life, do whatever I have to do in the best possible way, because if you look around you, you are probably with the ones that helped you become perfect last time. Whether they are other Brahmins or they are your Lokik people, the karmic accounts that we have at the end of a cycle are probably, the most crucial factors that we have to think about. So if I now do whatever is practically possible to help the situation around me, whatever it is, If there's turmoil at home, let me help to calm it down. If there's a particular relationship which is weighing on me, I should sort it out. If there are things that I have to forgive and forget, I should make a list and hand it over to Baba. So let me do the things, the practical things to sort out the situation that I'm in. And in that way, we can practice whatever virtues we have. Because unfortunately or fortunately, every single one of us, our present state is exactly where we are at in terms of whatever we've accumulated. So I should either congratulate myself that I'm feeling pretty okay, but I should not punish myself, but I should, let me try to become calm at the moment, because the only real time that I have is the present. I don't have the past anymore. I can't change anything that I've done. I don't have the future yet. It's sort of coming up ahead of me. But what I do have is here and now, this particular moment. And if I if I can go in a deep relationship with Baba now, definitely my intoxication will come up. Intoxication for me is not just the experience of yoga. Definitely, it's an experience of understanding what all of this is about. So I can understand always more than I'm understanding now. So therefore, my intoxication can always come up a little bit more. Why not? What's the limit to our intoxication? Here, where do I finish? So I think the worst thing we can do is worry about the future and be, holding on to the past. Those are the two things. If we can do those things now that we've never done, stop worrying about the future. Don't hold on to the past burdens. Hand them over to Baba. Then you can immediately, in a second, you can go beyond all of it. It's a question of not time, it's a question of intensity. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Kenbai. Is that it, Dev?
We have a few more.
Okay. You decide, because it is 12:30 and I'm cognizant of the fact that it's bedtime for Ashaben. So go ahead.
Not just that, I've got another session.
It's okay.
That would be great.
Last question.
Last question then.
All right. So this is for Asha Didi. Baba says, very less souls know about me the way I am. Can you please clarify this?
What is that?
Baba says, very less souls know me as I am. So a clarification is there.
Very few souls know me as I am.
Yeah.
It is not the question of the introduction of Baba, but what Baba does, the recognition of that. Sometimes we take Baba in a very easy way and forget totally that he's God. So sometimes we take him in a very ordinary way. You remember the story of the sister who Baba asked to go to Mumbai. And she asked Baba, when have I to go? Baba said, just in an hour's time. She said, okay, fine. She returned in a few minutes and said to Baba, is it possible that Brijendra Dadi can go in the evening to Mumbai? I will definitely go, but if it is possible for her to postpone. Baba said, yes, child, yes, okay. And after a few minutes, another sister comes. And Baba asks the same question. She says, yes. She packs up her luggage and is ready to go with Dadi Brijendra. And the first one goes and starts washing her clothes. She was concerned about all those things. washing her clothes and things like that, packing. And her friends came around saying, "Oh, you keep washing your clothes, the one who had to go has already gone." So she got little perplexed and she went to Baba. "Baba, you asked me to go to Mumbai, and the sister is saying the one who had to go has already gone." Baba said, "Yes, child, you did not understand who was giving you the direction." So,
Yeah.
so this is how sometimes Baba gives us directions and we take them in a very ordinary way. It is very ordinary thing. But to recognize Baba, understand Baba, recognize Baba, very few children do that. मैं जो हूँ जैसा, what I am, is understood by very few. There are many interesting stories of this kind. So we have to see Baba. What Mama always used to say, never take Baba for granted. Never see Baba in an ordinary way. Never. He's God and He's your Father. So we take the advantage of that He's our Father, but then we forget the second aspect that He is God also. So this has to be understood properly.
Beautiful. Beautiful illustration, Asha. Ken, did you want to add anything? And then we will have a little meditation and take leave. And without a doubt, Asha Didi, you have to come back again.
No. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything to add. It's been a very beautiful session, and I'd love to be with you all. And so we can have some meditation and finish off. It's probably the best thing we can do now.
Okay, Ken. Asha Didi, did you want to say bye-bye?
Are you going to continue?
No, we're just going to have meditation and then we finish.
Then I will sit with you in meditation.
Yes.
Okay.
So they'll play some music. Did you want to say something?
No. Who is going to conduct it?
You.
Yes, we thought maybe Asha can give us few guidance, commentary.
Commentary, very nice.
Wadi, I'm not in favor of commentaries.
All right, then. You don't have to do it. We just have some music then. Maybe, could I just ask you, can I just ask one more question? Could you give us another story with Sakhar Baba and or Mama?
Okay.
Anyone? Yeah.
Do you want me, Mama or Baba? Or both?
Both.
Okay. And my personal, huh?
Yes.
Personal. You know, those days, there were very few it was the beginning stages of the expansion of service. So those days, very young Kumaris used to surrender. And they just used to finish their little education and then they were made to go to the centers. But many of them started returning back. But I was young, younger to them. So I was studying. But when I saw them going, so the thought came, why shouldn't I also go? So this intoxication was there. And I said, after my high school, I'm not going to study anymore. So this proposal was given to Mama, and Mama accepted it. And she, before sending me to the center, she asked me, she was sitting on the sofa, and my mother, father, and myself were sitting on the ground there. And Mama said, would you eat that much of chilies? I said, yes. Mama said, would you drink pot full of water? I said, yes. Mama said, would you get scared of the lion? I said, no. Then Mama did like this, and I blinked my eyes. So Mama said, you got scared. And I felt inside, I have failed the test. So Mama said, look, when you are keeping when you remember Baba and keep him as your companion, you will never be scared of anything. And you will never fail anywhere if Baba is there with you. So always keep Baba with you. This was one thing that she gave me, and after that I went to live in the center. After 10th. It is later that I completed my university degrees.
Right.
And when it comes to Baba, this was one instance. And another one was that Didi Manmohini, we had gone from Bangalore, nearly 5 or 7 of us, Kumaris. And Didi said, we were meeting Baba in his room. Was sitting around. Sister Lata, you remember? Lata from Surat?
Yes.
She was also there. Sharda from
Ahmedabad.
Lotus was there. Not Ahmedabad, Lotus was there. And many other sisters. We were total 7 Kumaris. So this, she said, Didi, Baba, Asha gives talks in English. And Baba said, Acha, child, would you give a talk in the evening today? I said, yes, Baba. Baba said, what topic? I was so, I don't know what to say that exact word. Baba said, what topic? I said, Baba, any topic that you get. So, Baba, as though I was very proficient. Then Baba gave me the topic on world peace. And then when I came out, I realized, what did I say to Baba? That I'm going to speak and Baba is going to listen. How is this going to happen? It can never be. Then I went to Sister Rosie. Rosie then was there. I said, Sister, this is one. And Baba has said to me, but I don't want to do that. Sister Rosie said, now nothing doing. Since you have said this to Baba, you have to do it. So I sat in the history hall and I was sitting on the gaddi talking about world peace and very happy inside. It is good that Baba did not come. Because how would I speak otherwise in front of Baba? So after, when I finished, I came down. Then Sister Lata and Sister Nalini of Mumbai were sitting in front. They said, Baba has listened to you. I said, how? Then he was listening, standing behind the window. So Baba heard it and then he came again. He gave me, said good words, and this probably, I feel, made me have interest in studies more and more.
Yeah.
And my last meeting, what Baba said in my Sakar form was said to me in the Avyakt form also.
Oh.
In essence, the words that he used, child, always remember, whatever I do, I met him in 68, maybe May 68 or June 68. And we went to his room. And then Baba giving us drishti, he specifically said to me, child, always remember, whatever I do, others are likely to learn from me. This is what he said to me in the last meeting. And when I met Bab Dada in Avyakt form, this was again repeated in this, not in the same words, but same thing was repeated. So this gives you nishchay, no?
Yeah. But you've been very faithful to that dictate, and you've become the sample and the example for many of us to follow.
We have to do much, much more sister, and long journey to keep moving. These are small little things, but we know how much we have to work. Anna? Okay.
Thank you so very, very much, Ashaban and Brother Ken. And so we will finish with a few minutes in Baba's Yad, remembering that it's God.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Asha Didi. And Ken Bhai had to leave. So thank you so much on behalf of Mohini Didi, Kalaban, and the whole of the Peace Village and the family here. So we'll now end with a few minutes of meditation, and all the rest, please stay back for the further announcements of the program. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Maybe everyone wants to say Om Shanti to Ashaban as she goes.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So thank you, everyone. Mr. Wadi, you're saying something? You can unmute yourself.